Good morning and welcome back to the Eagle Squawk podcast. My name is Wyatt Reed and I'm here with my fellow classmates,
Amelia Williams,
Victor Piedra,
and David Bartleson.
And today we will be discussing topics on band performances, school spirit, and pep rallies within the Sydney High School. And Eagle Squawk would not be possible without the generous donation at Frontier Heating and Cooling here in Sydney, Montana. We would like to express our sincere thanks to Kendra Herbal, Wayne Reed, and Mike Donahue at Frontier. Also, we would like to offer up our big thanks to Sydney Herald for letting us use the Around Town section of the newspaper. And finally, I hope you guys enjoy listening to us as we discuss topics of interest to ourselves in the community, and that all these discussions and deliberations are our own and do not reflect the opinions nor policies of the Sydney Public Schools District or Sydney High School Administration. Please feel free to contact Eagle Squawk at pspeaking299@gmail.com for any comments or suggestions for future topics on podcasts. And I believe today we will start with Amelia.
So the Sunrise Women Clinic would like you to join them in the Light the Way Christmas Gala, which will be held Thursday, December 9th, 2021 at 5:30. There will be dinner, a silent auction, and music from both the community choir and the Liberty Christian School's bell ringers. Guest speakers are Ashton Nielsen Davis from Glendive, and money will be raised for a new ultrasound machine at the hospital. Please RSVP by Friday, December 3rd to Sunrise Women's Clinic by calling 406-433-772. Once again, that's 406-433-772. This is an adult-only event, so don't bring your children, please. That's all I have to say for that.
Okay, and I believe with that we are going to segue back into our Around Town section. Who's starting that?
David.
Oh.
cut that.
Alright. Thursday, December 2nd, the Sydney Moose Lodge will serve hot dogs from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. for members and qualified guests. The Sydney Moose Lodge will host cornhole at 6:30 p.m. for members. And Friday, December 3rd, the St. Matthew's Craft Bazaar, sponsored by Catholic Daughters of the Americas, will take place from 4 to 8 p.m. at 310 7th Street Southeast in Sydney. Lunch will be available. For information, contact Kelly at 406-482-5878 on evenings. The Sydney Moose Lodge will serve family supper from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. for members and qualified guests. The Sydney Moose Lodge will host a family night movie from 7:30 to 10 p.m. and concessions will be available. Bring a blanket and pillow if desired.
On Saturday, December 4th, Boys and Girls Club of Richland County, in collaboration with the Sydney Area Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture, is sponsoring their second annual Christmas shop for kids on Saturday, December 4th from 9 to 11 a.m. at the Boys and Girls Club, located at 201 3rd Avenue Southeast in Sydney. This event allows children through the age of 12 to shop for members of their family for a nominal fee of $5 per shopper. Boys and Girls Club staff and volunteers will package and label all of the gifts. During this time, parents can visit all the great businesses in Sydney. A holiday movie will be shown from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. with treat bags for attendees for a free will donation. St. Matthew's Craft Bazaar, sponsored by Catholic Daughters of America, will also take place on Saturday, December 4th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Lunch will be available. For info, contact Kelly at 406-482-5878, and please only contact her in the evenings. The Sydney JC's Rise to Power on the campaign Trial Murder Mystery will be held at the Sydney Elks Lodge. RSVP tickets can be purchased by messaging the Sydney JC's Facebook with Crystal at CarQuest, Amanda at Tractor Supply, or Kayla or Wayne at Witkid Repair. RSVP tickets are $15 for singles. Day event tickets can be purchased at the door starting at 5 p.m. December 4th, with couples being $30 and singles being $20. Come join the Sydney JCs in finding out who did it. Social hour will start at 6 p.m. with finger foods served, and the Elks will have the bar open. Event is for 21 years old and over only. The People's Congregational Church will hold a Christmas bazaar at 1 p.m., and Lambert's Christmas stroll and parade of lights will be from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. The vendor show at Nortana from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. The soup bar at Lion's Den at 6:30 p.m. And the parade of lights lineup will be at 6 p.m.
Sunday, December 5th, the annual Community Christmas Concert will be performed at 3 p.m. at the Sydney Middle School Auditorium. Attendees are asked to bring a food donation for the Richland County Food Bank. The Divorce Care Group meets every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. at the Peller Lutheran Church. For more information, call Pella Lutheran at 433-3350. Again, 433-3350. The Sydney Moose Lodge will serve breakfast from 8:30 to 11:30. And the Sydney Moose Lodge will also host bingo at 1.
On Monday, December 6th, the Sydney Moose Lodge will host cards at 3:30 p.m. for members and qualified guests. The Sydney Moose Lodge will serve burgers from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. to members and qualified guests also.
Tuesday, December 7th, Art for Relaxation classes will be held at the Mondack Heritage Center from 5:30 to 7:15. The cost is $18 for participants, and you can stay an extra hour for Yoga with Grace for an additional $2.
Thank you. On Wednesday, December 8th, the Moose Lodge will serve chili soup from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And with that, that will conclude the Around Town section of the newspaper. And for our first topic today, we are going to be talking about the choir and the band performances. Amelia, will you start us off with that?
Okay. So the choir has at least 30 members for them. And I think the last time I was at a choir band concert was in 8th grade. And that was when I was in choir. And their performance is December 14th at 7, I'm pretty sure. Correct, David?
Yes, that is correct. And I believe the, as far as I know, the band should have over 50 people. Like, I've never really kept track.
What do you know what songs you guys are playing this year for the concert?
Yes. We should be doing 3 songs this year. The Polar Express, American River Songs, and Snakes. And obviously, the one relating to the holidays would be Polar Express, which is a piece I'm very excited to play, and I'm sure you guys would be excited to hear too.
About the
And the
Polar,
audience.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
about the Polar Express, I just wanted to know, is that the theme of the Polar Express, or just several pieces? throughout
It's
the
several
composition?
pieces.
Several pieces?
Mhm.
Okay.
Because, I don't know, it's kind of weird just having one song.
Mm.
What instrument or instruments are you playing?
I'm just doing trumpet.
Just trumpet. Awesome.
I would like to say, like, the Polar Express is that there's a lot of different instruments involved, and it becomes like a very moving piece at some points.
Interesting. And the performances are here in the gym, correct?
Yes.
Another question I had for you, David, is how, on a normal concert night, how many people do you suppose come to the concerts?
Well, most of the time, it would usually be the parents of the band students and choir students. And
Is there really any peers or students
Should
that
there
go?
be more student support?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Does-
think so too.
Oftentimes the band goes and supports, other events.
That's another point too. Is the band is always at games, volleyball, football, basketball, and they're there to play the pep band for those kids that are in those sports. And I do feel that I think there should be more.
It's a very one-sided
Yeah.
sort of thing in my eyes.
I feel there should be definitely a lot more students that are our peers that go. I'm guilty as charged. I don't go, and I think I've only been to the band performances that when I was in band. I would definitely love to see more student support there. Don't get me wrong.
Well, you guys perform at the Eagle, right, for the wrestlers? Like, you play the Rocky intro when you're walking out, like the champions and the placers, correct?
I don't exactly remember doing that. Like, the time I've been in high school, I've only played for, 2, wrestling meets.
And yeah, and that's pretty much just when they're going to state and they're walking down the hall, but you guys are doing that.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I do feel the pep band should be at more wrestling events, 100%. They don't necessarily have to travel. When does the pep band normally travel? Just for state games for basketball?
Yeah, usually we
Divisionals.
travel for divisional volleyball or divisional basketball.
And that's about it, right?
Yeah, other than that, it's either honor band concerts or festivals.
Okay. I kind of wonder why it's only those two sports they'll travel with. But I wonder if it's just kind of the only sports that allow a pep band to come. Do you think there's rules against that, David, that maybe pep bands can only travel with certain sports during certain times?
I don't think there's a rule against it. I believe, basketball and wrestling are in the same season, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I think it has more to do with, scheduling conflicts.
That's true. And I can see why it's only at divisionals, too, because if you go to preliminary ones, maybe the other school has a pep band that's there,
Yeah.
too.
Well, sometimes if there's another pep band, we like to do a little battle.
A battle?
I think those are so cool.
It's where we play, outplay the other band.
You outplay them?
Yeah.
Have you
How
ever
does-
participated in a battle?
Well, I mean, if you're in a pep band, you don't really have a choice.
Oh.
How do you outplay them? You're just louder,
Or
You're better.
better.
or better?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
Our
all.
band is superior.
Our
I'm
band
saying
is
that
pretty good, yeah.
very-
Well, with that, more school spirit at those, definitely.
Yeah.
Band concerts. Is there anything else you guys want to add,
No, I don't think so.
David?
No.
Amelia? All right, and with that, I believe we will segue into our next topic,
Nice use of vocab.
which is student support at games, school spirit, and that way. Amelia, do you want to start us?
Okay. Well, I think we should have more pep rallies than just 3 a year. And I would really like them to be more exciting, more crowd interaction. There was a little bit of crowd interaction at the fall pep rally on homecoming, but at the same time there was such a lull in the student section. It's come on, it's homecoming. Let's get a little
Yeah.
more excited,
I think-
especially the seniors.
I think
What did you think, Wyatt? Because I think the only kids I heard get loud was a specific group, and that was the football team.
There is, yeah. I do feel students should be a little bit more active with school spirit. One of the first playoffs game we had this year, our student section was empty.
It was.
It was very empty, and I was like, because every other home football game, that thing was full. And then we get to a game that really matters, and the football team really needed the support, and the student section was just empty. There was only a couple people there, and probably halfway through the game, I think people started to show up and fill it up, but it was still just empty.
It's disappointing.
And I found that really sad. But back to pep rallies, I do think we should have a pep rally before every home game
Yes.
instead of just stuff that goes on. I mean, it doesn't have to be a major pep rally, but
It'd be like
where just the high school
Yeah,
gets
just
together
a
in the
little
gym
more.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day and plays games or something, just to get you more a little bit hyped up and let everyone know how the teams are doing this year. So
Is there any other way to get students more involved with school spirit and pep rallies?
see, that's a good question, because when it comes to people actually wanting to go to the games, which that can bring us into is, what if we had a traveling student section bus?
we do have the traveling student section, but that's only when people decide to take it among themselves and go in their cars. But I think
Yep.
we need a traveling spirit bus, is what you're
Yep,
saying.
that's what I'm
That's
getting
what we
with
should
is
have.
I believe there was one instance.
That happened this year, right? We had
Yeah.
one traveling
Yep,
spirit bus.
I believe we did have a traveling spirit
And
bus.
that was to Fergus, correct?
Yep.
Playoffs?
Most of the time it's just you travel. If you want to go to the game, you have to kind of drive yourself and be there. But
Go on, David.
I mean, other than that, I don't know. That's like the only time I've seen a spirit bus.
I think the last time we had a spirit bus, besides this year, was our freshman year when we went to Glendive for their homecoming football game.
yep,
That's it.
I feel if we had more pep rallies too, I feel like that would make kids want to go to those home games. I mean,
Involved.
if it doesn't work out, to not have a traveling spirit bus, to let only have that pep rally, to be like, instead of just an announcement over the intercom like they usually do, hey, the basketball team has a home game against Wolf Point tonight, come and support. I mean, that doesn't really make
Even
kids
if
to
it's
come and
not like a
support.
pep rally, like before they're going away on the bus, we should do what we do for state. When we go out, the band plays and we clap our school song.
Yeah.
I think that's great. Like, it's a little way of the support that, like, hey, we're there for you. We just can't leave right now.
Exactly.
That's what I think would be nice.
Which it would be nice, yeah.
With the school spirit at pep rallies, I'm kind of guilty because I remember that.
One of those.
I remember this pep rally. We went outside, and I was being practically tortured because I was wearing only dark clothing, and
Your problem.
I had a jacket on. So I was thinking, like, maybe I can use my jacket as a sort of canopy. But then I also thought about it, and then I'm like, well, if a teacher looks at me and I have a jacket, it's just gonna look like I'm sleeping. So I can't do that. So I'm just gonna have to sit there and just bake alive in the sun.
It was very hot. Like,
Yeah.
I got sunburns on my knees from my pants. Just a little hole, and it was like beating red. I'm like, great.
Great.
Nice, I look like a leopard. Let's go.
Oh, leopard.
Go Eagles.
That's awesome. But yeah, definitely more school spirit.
I think we do have like a great student section when it's there. Like, the theme nights are perfect.
Yeah.
I think they all like are they're out there, like neon night. That was so fun.
Isn't the student council in charge of that?
I think it is. But I know there's an Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that helps even more because they all
Yeah.
like post it for all of us to know, like, hey, this is happening. Sport, dress up.
I was doing a little bit of research on school spirit too. And in Connecticut, all the schools, the majority of the principals, which 92%, feel that school spirit is tied to high student achievement. So I thought that was really interesting, but I can see that too. If you are going to want to go to the games, you're going to want to go to school.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, have you guys seen college football games, like their student section? I can tell you from experience, being in Missoula for Cat Grizz, I sat right across from the student section. They are the most wild, rowdy group, and they're just never sit down.
They're also
It's
college people.
Yeah, but like we could have the most, like, if we get enough people in our student section, we could have a great, like, that same type of
Yeah.
excitement. Like,
Yeah.
gets to the point where they can, like, wave, like, this huge flag above them. And I'm like, that's so cool. Like, I would
Yeah.
love something like that. But we're in high school,
Yeah.
but still, would be awesome if we could achieve that. Something that great.
Yeah, that too. And it is college. I mean, if you think about it, college kids are more likely.
They're wild, but they're
Yeah.
great. They're
It's,
just,
I think
they
that,
have that epitome of school spirit that we should just have in, like, our heads.
I feel that too ties in good with they're at college, so it gives them something to do. But I think you're right. I feel if we had that,
It's just that mindset of, like, hey, I want, like, let's do this.
pretty much
Come
the whole
on.
school
Like,
is
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
the problem, you know. But
I leave, but whatever.
so I believe we can end that topic there. Is there anything else you guys want to add before we take off?
I don't think so.
Okay, and with that, we're gonna go into school rivalries. And I will start us off with Sydney has had a rival with Glendive for quite a few years. And I would like to see us play Glendive over Billings Central at homecoming.
Yeah, why are we even playing Billings Central?
Wasn't this our 4th year?
Yep. And it might have time to be tied in with their sports too, their stuff, but I believe, because I think Sydney has played Glendive for quite a while for their homecoming, and I think we should bring it back. I remember being in grade school and we'd play Glendive for homecoming all the time.
It makes sense too.
Yeah.
You know? Instead, every homecoming we seem to be getting whooped.
I think
Yeah.
we played for volleyball. For volleyball, we played Glendive.
Mm-hmm.
But for football, we played Billings Central, which is not fun.
Every year.
I just don't like losing.
Well, yeah, it's
not
also
fun.
not,
Especially on homecoming.
especially at
No.
homecoming. I mean, you don't want to just get the teams that you can beat. You want to do the harder teams to make you better. I will say the homecoming game this year was extremely close and it was extremely good.
And like Billings Central, they're hard. They're hard. I just want to beat them one time.
Yeah.
With the school rivalry, I honestly had no idea that there was this big thing between like you guys and Glendive. I honestly thought it was
Terrible.
like Fairview. I
Really?
didn't even know you guys didn't play against Fairview until this week when we were talking about the podcast.
Because they're Class C.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I thought it was just like, yeah, it's Fairview, let's beat them because they're close. I didn't even know that.
And I think with school rivalries too, if we meet up with our rivals more, it would probably improve and inspire more school spirit too.
Mhm.
We have that Brawl of the East, which
Yep.
is basketball and wrestling together
I
on the
think
same nights.
I think so, yeah.
I think that's genius. Whoever
Yeah.
put that into play, great job.
And I do remember
Great
too. We have had problems with our homecomings in the past years. Was it last year we scheduled football homecoming on the same night and volleyball homecoming on the same night, or was it just a volleyball game?
We had the volleyball game on the Friday, and the football game was Saturday at 1. Everybody was really mad. I was kind of like, ooh, sorry about it, because I was on the volleyball team. and
Did
that
we
happened.
did we ever schedule them at the same night, or a volleyball game on the same night?
No.
I thought we did because I thought the volleyball lost people watching for the football game.
I think that was playoffs.
Was that
Playoff
playoffs?
football.
Yep. The volleyball team lost viewers. I thought that was wild. I mean,
Crappy day.
whoever set that up, that was. I mean, it could have worked too, but for one team to lose visitors to go to the other, I mean,
I'd imagine that'd be a little disheartening.
Kind of tugs at your heartstrings.
Speaking of volleyball, didn't a coach leave volleyball, or I heard something along those lines?
Jillian,
Yeah.
who is that?
she resigned. Jillian Stanek, our head volleyball coach,
Oh,
she resigned.
is there any word on a new head coach?
There's been rumblings and rumors, but as far as I know,
Nothing
No.
official.
No. Yeah.
nothing official yet.
That's very interesting. Do you guys think when a team plays their school rival, it helps push their performance and makes them want that win even more.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even just like for just from a standpoint how it normally is, like if this person beat me, I want to beat them back. Like I want to
Yep.
beat my rival. Oh, definitely.
Make them more competitive.
You'll
Yeah.
even see like the student sections,
So-
like specifically Glendives in our student section, just go back and forth.
Have they argued?
I'm gonna
Yes.
tie it into your comment you made a little bit ago on how we went to Glendive's homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember we went to Glendive's homecoming and we had a student section?
They were
They
eighth
egged
graders.
our bus.
I don't think I heard
They
about
did
that.
egg our bus.
They-
That was
and-
quite funny.
Yeah.
I was a part of the spirit bus, so our bus didn't get egged, but it was the football teams.
It was the football
Football
team's bus that got egged. Yeah.
But I know when my mom was in high school, she said they used to play Glendive for football, they'd like have to be police escorted out of Glendive until they got to the highway, because the people from Glendive would throw rocks at the bus. And I'm like, why would you throw rocks? Like
Might be a
game.
little
it's fine.
contentious.
It's a little more violent than just it's a football game. It's a volleyball game.
Right?
Get over it.
It's a
like,
high school too.
it's
It's
okay.
not even
We're
college.
fine. We're like,
Wasn't there a
it's not pro. We're okay.
wasn't there a big old fight between two colleges?
Yes, Ohio State and Michigan this weekend. They were in
Really?
the tunnels together.
The tunnels of
Why would you put them in the
Why?
same tunnel?
This
My
is-
question. And
this
they're
is news
huge
to me.
rivals. Huge rivals. They're standing in the tunnels, like this far apart from each other, screaming, cussing, flipping each other off. Their coaches are just
Holy
like
Moses.
civilly talking to each other.
So,
They're like, and then there's a ref that gets involved, and he like stands in the middle of the group, and they're pushing him, and he's trying to whistle for them to stop. Like, gets to the point.
Huh.
Why are you a coach and you're just politely talking to the other coach while you're
yeah, you might want to
What?
stand your team down
That's-
a little.
yeah?
That's
like,
ridiculous.
Are you kidding me? Like even people from here know that because like when I went to Cat Grizz, there's no way you would put Montana State in University of Montana in the same tunnel together because you're just asking for trouble.
Mm.
They hate each other. It's very violent. They're very mean. Trust me, I know it.
That's weird.
There's like you could look up the video for it of Michigan and Ohio State fighting in the tunnel.
Oh, really?
hilarious.
Was it just arguing or was it a brawl, like a
It
straight
was,
on fight?
It was just arguing, but it was getting to the point where the ref felt like it was going to get into a brawl, so that's
Mhm.
why he started to whistle. But it's like,
Fine.
what is the whistle doing?
That's wild.
It's crazy how violent people could get.
Over
Over
a
a
rivalry,
game.
exactly.
Just one game too.
See,
Yeah.
there's a healthy rivalry and then there's an unhealthy rivalry. Excuse my language. Like I think a healthy rivalry, it's like you try to be better than the other, but then you also like if they beat you, you kind of go like, all right, I'll do better, and it's just kind of like this understanding of your opponent.
You gotta
Whether-
have respect.
Yeah, you gotta have respect. Whether
Yes.
it's an unhealthy rivalry, it's like more of a just I hate you and I want to beat you.
That is purely what the Brawl of the Wild is just a very I hate them
Mm.
rivalry, and it's terrible because it's like we're all the same people, we're all from Montana, like why can't we just get along?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel that same kind of like ugh
Yeah.
because I'm a Grizz fan, so
Yeah.
I don't really care.
And that's understandable too. Like everyone, I think in their life is gonna have an unhealthy rival at some point.
Mhm.
and
it creates character when you really
it
think
does.
about it.
Yeah. With that, you guys, I believe that's going to be our stop point for today. I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I would also like to thank Frontier Heating one more time for making this podcast possible. And we will see you guys next week. Have a great week.
Goodbye.